Man, I think it's the next step up mentality as far as players. Our shifts keep changing. Everybody doing a different role, and so I think we all got the mentality where you give and you sacrifice, and I think that's what y'all see.
Yeah, I think for us it's about knowing that basketball is a game of runs, and they made their run that third quarter, and honestly just continue to stay.
The Indiana Fever just shocked everyone, and Caitlin Clark wasn't even on the court. No one expected this. The Indiana Fever walked into a high-stakes matchup against a desperate Dallas Wings squad who were reeling from a crushing loss to the Sparks just the night before. With Caitlin Clark sidelined, most fans braced for disaster. A sold-out crowd of 20,049 came for a showdown between Clark and Paige Bueckers. Instead, they witnessed something even bigger. In the final minutes, the Fever delivered a performance that redefined who they are, and Aaliyah Boston's 6-word statement after the game, it said it all. This wasn't just a win. It was a warning shot to the entire league. If you're riding with the Fever, drop a "I've got the Fever" in the comments. Let's go!
Yeah, I think for us it's about knowing that basketball is a game of runs, and they made their run that third quarter, and honestly just continue to stay composed and take it each possession at a time is something that we've been working on, and so for us that was our focus, is get a stop, go down and score, get another stop, and we try to get a kill.
Picture this, the WNBA showdown everyone was waiting. All eyes were on this game. Caitlin Clark versus Paige Bueckers, the No. 1 pick of 2024 versus the top pick of 2025. This wasn't just another regular season matchup. This was the moment the entire basketball world had been buzzing about since draft night. The Dallas Wings knew the stakes. So they made a bold move, shifting the game from the cozy College Park Center to the massive American Airlines Center, home of the Dallas Mavericks. Think about that. You don't move a game to a 20,000-seat NBA arena unless you know something huge is coming. Fans responded instantly. Tickets vanished. Social media exploded. The hype was real. This wasn't just a game, it was a statement. A record-breaking moment in the making, proved that women's basketball isn't rising, it's already here.
Finding out this morning that we probably need to hold out again today. It really is a day-to-day thing, and I think for us, making sure that we're prioritizing her long-term health and wellness. It's anybody who's had some of these types of injuries understand that sometimes it's a process. She's a quick healer, and she's been doing everything that she can to get back on the floor. So, we just want to make sure that we're hypersensitive to the big picture.
Seth and boom. Everything changed. Just 2 nights before tip-off, disaster struck. Caitlin Clark's groin injury flared up, throwing everything into chaos. The most anticipated showdown of the season, suddenly hanging by a thread. Thousands of fans had bought tickets for one reason, to witness Clark versus Bueckers, the ultimate head-to-head. And now, the main event, the reason for all the hype might not even take the floor. What was supposed to be a historic night just became a giant question mark.
I feel a disappointment for them more than anything, because you want them to see her at her best and us at our best. I hate that for fans, but at the same time, again for us as a team, and for Caitlin as a person and player, her health and wellness is the priority.
But here's what made it even worse. Just 1 night earlier, the Fever had been embarrassed by the Los Angeles Sparks. It wasn't just a loss, it was a meltdown. Without Clark running the show, Indiana looked completely out of sync. The pace? Sluggish. The ball movement? Non-existent. Aaliyah Boston? Practically invisible, hardly any touches. Everything that makes the Fever dangerous vanished the moment Clark left the floor. They didn't just lose their star, they lost their identity.
I think the biggest thing for us is our attention to detail in our screening. We've got to be great screeners. We got to make sure we slow down and use our screen, and our spacing. We've had some games where our spacing has been poor, and that has not allowed Kelsey to get downhill, and it hasn't allowed space for Aaliyah to get going either. So I think that the 2 most important things for us right now offensively is attention to detail and screening and spacing.
Dallas could smell blood. They knew exactly what happens when the Fever play without Caitlin Clark. No spacing, no rhythm, no movement. Just a stall defense where Aaliyah Boston fades into the background and the entire system crumbles. This was the perfect storm for the Wings, a wounded, out-of-sync Indiana squad. Dallas was licking their chops, ready to make a statement, ready to dominate. But here's what no one saw coming. Even with Clark's status uncertain, 20,049 fans still packed the arena. That's right, without a guarantee that the main attraction would even touch the floor. This game still shattered the Texas women's basketball attendance record. Let that sink in. That's not just hype, that's the power of this rivalry. That's the rise of women's basketball, louder, stronger, and more unstoppable than ever.
We'll start Ari today. We'll start her and bring Sid off the bench a little bit. You know, I don't want to take Kelsey out of what she naturally does instinctually on the wing and overload her from a point guard perspective. So with having Ari and having Sid, they'll give us a couple different looks right there.
The Dallas Wings walked into this game thinking they had a wounded animal cornered. Caitlin Clark was out, and the Fever looked vulnerable, at least on paper. But coach Stephanie White had other plans. In a shocking move, she gave Ari McDonald her first start of the season, a complete shakeup from the expected lineup. No one knew what to expect from this new-look Indiana team. What happened next? Even the biggest Fever fans couldn't have predicted it. The stage was set for disaster. Or for something magical. From the opening tip, the Fever came out on fire. Not just surviving without Clark, they were thriving. Ari McDonald brought a burst of energy that completely flipped the game. She was pushing the pace like her life depended on it, running, attacking, creating. AC Donald wasn't just filling in, she was leading. Her presence made you forget Clark was even on the bench. Dallas came in with a simple game plan: shut down Kelsey Mitchell, and the Fever will crumble. But suddenly, they had a brand new problem: McDonald. Her downhill speed created chaos, opened up driving lanes, and left defenders scrambling. The Wings weren't ready. Then came the shocker. McDonald goes perfect from the field in the first quarter, not just scoring, smart scoring. Drawing defenders, setting up teammates, orchestrating the offense with complete control. The Fever? They start the game by hitting 7 straight shots. That kind of efficiency is almost unheard of. Lexi Hull knocks down a 3. Aaliyah Boston starts getting meaningful touches inside. Finally,
run for Indiana. Lexi Hull carries the 3. You gotta get out on her, ladies. She's shooting 51% from beyond the arc.
you can literally see her confidence grow with every possession, with McDonald pulling defenders away from the paint. Boston goes to work, efficient, poised, dominant. Meanwhile, the Wings start ice cold, just 2 for 14 to open the game. Natasha Howard tries to respond, but Indiana's energy is overwhelming. Boston gets easy looks inside. McDonald throws dimes, Hull is splashing threes. And just like that, a game that was supposed to be about Caitlin Clark versus Paige Bueckers turns into something entirely different. A statement. This Fever team?
The Wings are only 2 of 14. Howard lobs it inside Boston, and Maisha Hines-Allen got lost. Allowed for the easy 2.
And you down to Natasha, and she's going to get in the paint. And so the defense has to step up to protect the drive, and now she puts that air on the ball, and AB is able to finish that shot at the rim. That was beautiful.
They're deeper, tougher, and more dangerous than anyone realized. Watching a team discover what they can be when everyone steps up together. This isn't about one player carrying the load. This is about 5 players moving as one unit. By the end of that first quarter, Indiana leads 33-13. Let that sink in for a second. They outscored Dallas by 20 points in 12 minutes. Even the Dallas fans are standing up and applauding the basketball they're seeing. You don't often see that kind of respect from opposing fans. This is what they do. Yep, sometimes you're going to have some back-to-back games. Sometimes you're not going to be able to get in the gym and practice. Got to good night. And again, the veteran schools. The rookie Kelsey Mitchell starts heating up during this stretch, but she's not forcing anything. The ball movement is creating easy looks for everyone on the court. Mitchell gets 10.
She's just such a smart player. She reads defensive well. She knows how to pick you apart. And so when you play against her, you have to make sure that you're aware of where she is at all times. And also she does a great job of putting her teammates in great position. So for us, I feel like it's kind of similar in college and in the league. Like Paige is just playing great basketball. overall and make sure that she sets up her teammates for the same.
Points in the first quarter alone, but she's doing it within the flow of the offense. This wasn't just about replacing Clark's production on the scoreboard, this was about the Fever discovering what this team could become when everyone stepped up. Together, the foundation was set for something truly special, but the real test was still ahead of them. Here's where the story gets really good. Dallas starts clawing back hard, and suddenly this comfortable lead starts shrinking fast. The Wings figure out how to attack the Fever's defense. They start making shots they were missing in the first quarter. You can feel the momentum shifting in a way that makes Fever fans nervous. Paige Bueckers begins putting on an absolute show. She scores 27 points and makes WNBA history with a perfect stat line that has everyone's jaws dropping. Bueckers becomes the first player ever to record 25 points, 5 assists, to steals, to blocks, and 0 turnovers in a single game. That's the kind of performance that wins games and changes careers. Paige is just such a smart player. She reads defensive well. She knows how to pick you apart, and so when you play against her, you have to make sure that you're aware of where she is at all times, and also she does a great job of putting her teammates in great position. So for us, I feel like it's kind of similar in college and in the league. Like, Paige is just playing great basketball and make sure that she sets up her teammates for the same. The Wings cut the lead to single digits. You can feel the familiar panic setting in around the arena. This is exactly where the Fever usually fall apart. Without Clark, the court, the pace slows down, the ball stops moving, players start pressing and making bad decisions. Everything that went wrong against the Sparks the night before starts creeping back into the game, but Kelsey Mitchell refuses to let this slip away. She goes into complete takeover mode with shots that would make Clark proud. Mitchell drops 32 points with 7 assists, making 11 of 17 shots from the field. More importantly, she's making the right play every single time down the court. She's not forcing bad shots, she's creating opportunities for her teammates while taking control of the offense. Every little thing matters. Mitchell gives it up. Natasha Howard, beautiful shot. Howard with a double-double of 12 and 11. Indiana by Aaliyah Boston steps up huge in the clutch moments. She makes defensive stops when they absolutely have to have them. She grabs rebounds that keep possessions alive. Boston finished with 21 points on 9 of 14 shooting, hitting all 3 of her free throws. She's doing all the little things that championship teams need from their big players. The crowd is going absolutely wild. They're watching the teams refuse to back down. Both sides are trading big shots like a heavyweight fight. Neither team wants to give an inch. The energy in that arena is electric in a way that only happens during special games. Incoming in, y'all. Great job. Okay, great job. We weathered a storm. We found some toughness in the fourth quarter to be able to get stops and to execute right. We grew tonight. It really, everybody, just good stuff. Okay, good stuff all around. That's a big time win for us on a back-to-back at the end of a tough road trip. So good stuff. Okay, one more. Coaches 100th ready. Applause, laughter. All right, let's go. Here we go. 1-3 with minutes left. Boston looks at the crowd of Fever fans scattered throughout the arena. You can see something click in her eyes. This is what she would later explain about every game being a home game. Those Fever jerseys are everywhere, creating energy that travels with this team. Mitchell and Boston combined for the final push that seals the 90-286 victory. They proved this team has championship-level heart when it matters most. The fourth quarter belongs to Mitchell, who takes control and makes every play the Fever needs to close out the win. After the game, Aaliyah Boston walks up to the microphone and delivers 6 words that perfectly sum up what just happened. Reporters are asking about playing without Clark. They want to know about the pressure. They're trying to figure out how the Fever pulled off this incredible win against a Dallas team that had every reason to believe they would cruise to victory. Boston looks right into the camera and says every game is a home game. Those 6 words hit different. Suddenly, everything makes sense about what happened in that arena. The energy, the confidence, the way this team played like they belonged on that stage. There were a lot of Fever fans today at the game. What does it mean to you to just have their presence with you wherever you go? Every game is a home game. I think you see that people show up, they show out. I think it's great for this league. Just people continuing to come to games and watch. Because I think when people show up to watch a game, they might have came from one person, but they leave liking many more, and so I think that's the way you look at it, right? You've have this arena that's filled and people are coming. In there like Washington, I like her, she's tough. And so I think it's just great for the game. She explains how Fever fans travel everywhere they go. They create that energy no matter what arena they're playing, and you could see it during the game, those Fever jerseys scattered throughout the crowd. The cheers that got louder every time Indiana made a big play, the standing ovations that came from sections filled with fans who traveled from Indiana just to support their team. This wasn't just about winning without Clark on the court. This was about proving that the connection between this team and their fans goes deeper than any one player. Boston talks about how fans might come to see Clark initially, but they leave loving the whole team. That's exactly what happened with those 2,049 people who showed up. They came expecting to see Clark face Bueckers for the first time. Instead, they witnessed something even more special than the matchup they originally came to see. They watched a team discover its identity. They saw players step up when their star needed them most. They experienced the kind of basketball that creates lifelong fans. Likewise, I take pride and want to see people I never seen before. So when you see different players that you admire and they want to support us, it's kind of like, oh man, they actually take heed to what we do and what we bring to the table as a league. Unlike, like she said, you kind of appreciate the fact that people want to watch us play, and it kind of brings confidence to the game, so to speak. So it's a really good thing. Kelsey Mitchell echoes this sentiment during her own interview. She talks about how the team's confidence grows when they see those Fever jerseys in the stands. Mitchell mentions that the team's ability to get downhill and create opportunities becomes easier because of that support. It creates this positive feedback loop where the fans energize the players and the players give the fans something to cheer about. These 6 words became the rallying cry that showed this team's identity goes far beyond their superstar. It's about family. It's about a connection that can't be broken by injuries or tough losses. It's about fans who believe in something bigger than just one player. Boston's words captured something powerful about what this franchise has become. When your fans travel everywhere and create that home court advantage wherever you play, you've built something special that goes beyond wins and losses. Did you kind of feel a sense of urgency there that the team responded to? I guess great use of the word urgency. That's honestly been the topic of conversation for us, is making sure that we have a sense of urgency on the offensive end. On the defensive end, and once again, leads did slip away in this game and last game, but for us it's about making sure that we turn that page. We get back the lead, we keep it, we get big defensive stops, and you understand, once again, it's a game of runs and you just have to make sure that you have the best one at the end. This win wasn't just about beating Dallas, it was about the Fever discovering they're built for something special. In 2025 and beyond, they pushed their record to 8 wins and 8 losses and secured 3rd place in the Eastern Conference. That puts them just 2 games behind Atlanta and behind New York. When Clark comes back healthy, she's returning to a team that just proved they can step up when it matters most, that makes them dangerous. The Commissioner's Cup Championship game against Minnesota coming up, then they get a 5-game homestand in Indianapolis. The future looks bright because they've built something unstoppable. If you support the Fever, comment "I've got the Fever" down below, like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen and we will see you in the next.